Next we have Addicted. If you don't know, Addicted is a Chinese web series. It is a series about boys' love. It's a series about two high school boys who fall in love. Specifically, the names are Lu Yin and Gu Hai. They end up falling in love. They don't know each other when they first move to this high school. They are rivals, picking on each other, pranking each other, getting each other in trouble. And then they evolve into friends, and then evolve into a romance. In addition to that, their parents end up getting married to each other, so technically they're stepbrothers, but we try not to look too deeply into that, as with most BL stories. Fun fact, this web series actually got banned in China. It was out around March, and then once the season was about to end, like the last 3 episodes, the story got banned. And nobody really knows why it did. Some people have theories, like because it was a boys' love story, because it was a gay story. But other BL stories since then have not been banned. And then some people think that the main actors are gay, an actual gay couple. And some people fear that it was because the series got too popular and got too much attention. Some people think it's because somebody behind the scenes got in trouble with a higher up, a government official or something like that. Nobody really knows, some rumors, but that's what happened. So sadly, there probably will not be a second season to this series, but we all appreciate at least that we got one. So in this episode, we got to see the couple become more of a couple. They are still in the friendship phase, but they're kind of transitioning into being a relationship. It's kind of like my favorite manga or anime, referencing that they are more than friends, but less than a couple. And so anyway, they're kind of in this kind of transitional phase where Gu Hai is really trying his most to be flirtatious, and then Lu Yin is really trying his most to ignore those flirtations. Lu Yin, I don't know. At this point, it's kind of hard to really kind of deny it. But Lu Yin is in the situation where he's starting to realize that maybe this is something more. In addition, Lu Yin is a tsundere, so he is very much hot and cold. He is very much the type of person who will be mean to you, but then give you an ice cream sundae. So, he does smile, but most times he has this stoic face. So he doesn't really show any emotion. He doesn't really show that he is interested in Gu Hai, except for always being by him, always sticking by him, which is nice in a way. Gu Hai, however, is really trying to show that he's interested in Lu Yin. He's doing everything possible, flirting with him, touching him. He's even giving his the people and adults around Lu Yin jobs because he's a rich guy and he can do that. And that's such a romantic cliche, by the way. If specifically I'm thinking of the movie Me Before You, which came out a couple months ago. It is a British film. It's about a girl who, played by Daenerys Targaryen, by the way, of Game of Thrones, played by the actress who plays her, who falls in love with a guy who is disabled. And he did the same thing, where it's like he's rich so he can buy her dad a job. And so there is Gu Hai doing the exact same thing, and it's cliche as ever romantic scene, but it's cute in a way, I guess. It's like, once again, like BL stuff. It's a little creepy, but it's a little cute. It's a little corny, but it's cute, so we just forgive it anyway. But that is it on my thoughts for these 2 web series, or 2 series. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about these 2 series, if you've checked them out. If you haven't, you should. Let me know in the comments below if you like this double post, if you like these reviews of 2 things in one. If you do like the video, like it, comment, subscribe, all that. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's get talking. Bye. First, we're going to be talking about our BL bits of the day, and that is Heroine/Addicted, the web series. Heroine/Addicted, the web series is a Chinese web series about Lu Yin and Gu Hai, 2 high schoolers who fall in love. They first start off, of course, as rivals, bullying each other, pranking each other, and then they eventually evolve into friends, and then evolve into couples, into a couple. And then, of course, there's also things happening, such as their parents are getting married, Lu Yin's mother and Gu Hai's father, which makes them technically stepbrothers, but we're not going to think about that too deeply. And then, in addition, there's whole other conversations about the relationship between the son and his parent. There's stuff about rich to poor. There's stuff about old girlfriends. There's stuff about relationships with friends and can you keep them when you're in a relationship. All that's going on in just a 15-minute web series. So guys, I have finished Heroin / Addicted, and I'm not as sad as I thought I would be. This is the second time I've seen the series, so maybe it's just the fact that it's not new to me. The first time I was literally laying in my bed all sad, like, oh my god, I'll never find a love like that to watch again. But this time I'm just like, okay, now that I'm looking at it from an objective perspective, most of it is pretty solid, but some not so much. Specifically, the kidnapping scene, once again, what the hell? Why? Why did he have to go to a kidnapping? And then second, there was episode 14, which really was kind of a throwaway episode. Really, there was no need for the cousin. He basically means nothing to the entire rest of the story, except for this one episode. That said, I realized that, if the show had continued, if it hadn't got canceled, then perhaps he would have been more interesting, a more prominent character throughout the 2 seasons. And generally, that's my thought process for the end of this season, is just the what if factor. What if the show had continued? Would the 2 best friends get more time? Would they end up as a couple? Would Gu-hai's father reveal that he actually killed the mother, or that he didn't? Would Lu-yin's mother gain the respect and love of her son again? What would the main couple be like? Would they be fighting? Would they go through trials and tribulations, or would they still be a strong relationship through the 2nd season? I'm just wondering what ifs. What would have happened? And that's generally just what I'm going to think now that the show has been canceled, and now that this show will not continue. And it's sad, but it's what it is. That said, there is wonderful things about this show. There are wonderful things to celebrate, and specifically, I have to once again celebrate the couple for the long journey that they went through. The couple, seeing them from start to finish, from the rivals to best friends to lovers, was a great watch. For 15 episodes, seeing that transition and relationship blossom was wonderful. In addition, I have to say that the acting and the cinematography were on point in this show. Everything was solid. No real drops, except for, once again, those 2 things that I talked about earlier. Everything makes